we talk a lot about kind of B2B marketplaces on the show, and we've done a top 50 B2B marketplace ranking in the US for 2 years, and we just came out with a top 25 in Europe. No surprise that FJ has actually taken the number one spot in terms of backing the most number of startups on those respective rankings for all three versions of that report. It makes complete sense given the thesis and the way of thinking and how you prioritize those investments. B2B marketplaces is something you've talked in past interviews about. Obviously, the firm has been committing real dollars to that space for, probably the past handful of years or more. And by the way, I'm talking about B2B product marketplaces. FJ is also doing a variety of service marketplaces and other kinds of marketplace models. But how do you see, big question, pretty open-ended, but if you think about product marketplaces in the B2B segment, where do you think we are in the life cycle? Have we kind of entered? Are we kind of out of the first one or two waves of that? Are we still in the early innings? Like, where would you kind of slot us on that time continuum?
Yeah, we're at the very beginning of B2B marketplaces. When you think of all the progress is in the consumer right now, if you go Amazon and e-commerce in general, they're like 15-20% of all online purchases. And if you look at all the supply chains for buying products in a B2B way, we're generally at sub 5% penetration, and we're most often sub 1% penetration. And that's true in every single vertical: petrochemicals, steel, gravel, the labor that goes into it, apparel, underlying inputs for apparel manufacturers. I mean, you name it. Penetration of digital is de minimis. We're like day zero. And there are a lot of reasons for that, because you need to change, the entire supply chain needs to be digitized, including ERP integration, payments, tracking. You need the suppliers to be in there, et cetera. So but we're at day zero and everything remains to be done. And so that's why, even though our firm's focus is marketplaces writ large, the current main area of focus is B2B marketplaces. Because that's the area where there's the most opportunity. We're at the very beginning of the journey, both in the US and globally.